Hey, Royal family, welcome to my General Hospital Daytime Drama channel. I am your hostess, the Daytime Drama Queen. I have some more of the comments that the Royal family sent in. Thank you. Now, let's get into it. Latanya Fulton writes, Spencer, please be respectful to Trina before you do something stupid. Please end things properly with Trina. She deserves better than this. Thank you. Thank you so much for that comment, Latanya. I agree that Spencer should not be living with Esme. There are too many nannies out there and too many round the clock nurses to tend for Ace. I think Spencer is setting up a trap for Esme. He's watching her every move. He has the contents in that safe deposit box. He's just playing along with her, and she's so stupid she can't see the forest for the trees. Thank you. Desma Walker writes, I blame Frank Valentini for butchering Sprina and propping up a sociopath to be a love interest. This is insane. Desma also says, what's really going on, Spencer? Have you snapped, crackled, and popped to want Esme over Trina? I have my own theory. What's going on with you? And I hope that it's the case. But if it's not, then you've gone from sugar to expletive with no stops in between. Thank you for your comments, Desma. Don't forget that Trina agreed with Spencer to keep their relationship low-key for the sake of Portia. She's dealing with some stress, allegedly, over Curtis being shot. Spencer kissed Trina right under the same roof where Esme is. You know she was probably looking. That's why she went in that bedroom and told that baby, I guess Spencer chose Trina over us. He doesn't love Esme. He's trying to set her up and to trap her and bring her behind down. Thank you. Diane Smith writes, you are right. They never wanted Spencer and Trina to be together, and they don't care if we have a huge fan base and that Sprina Nation and others can see that they are racist. Our Sprina deserves love just like the other couples. I knew it would be over for Sprina, but it really came full circle when Chase and Brooklyn said, I love you. Ava and Austin hit the sheets, and now it might be Tracy and Gregory. Ooh, all before Trina and Spencer. It's really a shame about what Frank Valentini and the others are doing to Sprina. Thank you so much for your comment, Diane. Frank Valentini and the others put Spencer and Trina together in the first place. They know that they have a cash cow. They are third in the rankings, and they are milking this for all it's worth. What they need to do is prop up all the other boring storylines that I feel that are bringing General Hospital down. We have characters that don't have nothing to do other than to make jokes and be silly. Thank you for your comment. Cindis Christ writes, they clearly haven't been together since they returned from Greece. Couples aren't reluctant to contact each other. Couples know each other's whereabouts. They are using Portia as an excuse to avoid talking about the real issues. Trina is bothered by Spencer living with Esme and his life centering around Ace, even though she understands to a point. Spencer does not know how to include Trina with Esme around. They don't know how to discuss this, and that's caused them to be apart on the show. Not sure what caused it behind the scenes. I've seen other commenters who say these two are still together. I can't imagine where they got that idea. Thank you for your comment, send this. I am one of those people who say that Trina and Spencer are still together. I say that based on the facts of the show when Trina's around Spencer. Why he even kissed Trina while Esme was under the same roof. And out of respect, they are being low key because Portia, she's in a fragile state right now. Her husband has been shot and he's been paralyzed, and they don't want to add an extra layer on Portia. She's already dealing with too much. Spencer's end game is to trap Esme and send her right wherever her crazy mama is serving time. Thank you. Black GH Sister Soul says, I am hoping that Spencer is attempting to set Esme up. He didn't look comfortable with Esme brushing his hair off his forehead. His prior attempt at this was unsuccessful. Maybe rejection from him will make her go full Esme, either help her memories fully return or show she hasn't ever lost them. Thank you so much for your comment, Black GH Sister Soul. You are absolutely right. Spencer is setting her tail up and she can't see the forest for the trees. Didn't Spencer recoil when Esme attempted to push that hair aside? Spencer eyelashes fluttered. He can't stand for Esme to touch him. After all, she betrayed him and slept with his own father. Now, what man out there among you would desire to be with a girl again after she slept with your father? Come on now. Natalie Pinkston writes, I'm not understanding what the writers are doing. Thank you for your comment, Natalie. The writers don't even know what they're doing. These are the temporary writers that we see as of July 25th. That's pulling out all this nonsense about Spencer and Esme wanting to be close, when I see every effort being made by Esme trying to get back in Spencer's good graces. The girl is cray-cray. Thank you. Faye Skidmore writes, I hope not. I just love Trina. She is so beautiful. Esme can take that kid and go far from Spencer. I really hope he's not a Cassadine at all. Thank you for your comments, Faye. Why don't someone just suggest to Spencer to do a DNA test? Nicholas doesn't have to be present. The genealogy or the DNA from the family, I think it's called familiar DNA, can detect if Ace is a Cassadine, but no one has the sense to think of that one. Thank you for your comment. Leanne Christian writes, the Springer storyline is confusing and doesn't make any sense. If GH wants to break this up already non-existent couple, they should do it, because no one wants to watch silly episodes like this that don't make sense. I did like Trina and Dex scenes today. I think they could be great friends. Thank you so much for your comment, Leanne. Leanne, I think the temporary writers are making these confusing storylines with Springer, and now they are trying to inject Dex into the mix. The end game here is to bring down Esme Prince for drugging Trina and filming Joss and Cam. She needs to go. Sonia Met writes, there is no such thing as Dex and Trina. You guys are making too much about Dex being present at the hospital and helping Trina to unload her concerns about Curtis. There is no romance here, people. Trina just needed to talk, and Dex just happened to be the only one around. You guys are creating problems when there are none. Springer is the focus here. We need to remember that. Sprina fans are grasping at straws and predicting all kinds of doom and gloom. That has not happened. Can we just pull back a little and take a deep breath? Sprina is not going anywhere. Frank Valentini had already confirmed in an interview that while Curtis was paralyzed and Trina was busy taking care of him, Esme would use that opportunity to move in on Spencer. This is what we are witnessing, people. Sprina has not gone anywhere, so please stop the panic and chaos and continue to believe and support your beloved Sprina. Please do not underestimate the power of the Sprina's fan base. Long live Sprina. Thank you so much for that, Sonia. I agree with you. Sprina has not gone anywhere. The writers are creating this chaos and confusion. Nikki Phillips writes, I have a comment. Lately, Spencer seems by his body language that he does not want to be on GH anymore. His whole presence is very uncomfortable to watch lately. I'm sorry, but all of this is wishful thinking. I'm a Sprina fan from the beginning, but right now I can't stand to look at Spencer and Esme. She is so nauseating to the stomach. Then you have Trina going through all of this by herself. And if Spencer loves Trina, nobody, and I mean nobody, should stand in the way of him supporting her, period. But he'd rather play house with Esme. It's disgusting. Thank you so much for your comments, Nikki. Nikki, the only time I notice Spencer's body language is when he is around Esme. He becomes sort of distant and fake. It looks like he's faking it when he's around her. As for your second comment, again, I think Spencer is playing along with Esme. He's playing her game. He's trying to trap her. Thank you. Tamika Brown says, the whole Esme and Spencer storyline is boring. Do the writers think people are going to want those two together? I started watching back because of them. GH better get it together. I only watch with Spencer and Trina are on. Do the fans need to start writing in? Tamika also says, I think people are going to start writing in about Spencer and Trina's characters. Nicholas Chavez seems so uncomfortable with the whole baby story. Thank you so much for that, Tamika. I started writing GH from the jump when they came up with a ridiculous storyline of how to incorporate Esme back with Trina and Spencer, even though she has amnesia and she can't remember anything that she acted this way before. So, yeah, maybe we should en masse write GH. Thank you. Andrea Wellberg writes, well, I saw it on Twitter, so guess I'm right. By September, no more Sprina. It's going to be Esme and Spencer. Thank you for your comment, Andrea. That's fine with me, but they need to resolve it. If the end result is to bring Esme down, he can live with her all he wants, long as she goes to prison and pay for her crimes. Desma Walker says, maybe, but for how long? That's the real question. Thank you for that, Desma. Long as the end result is Esme going to jail, I'm all for it. JNBP writes, it's serious where the storyline with Trina, Dex, and Spencer. Please make it make sense. Portia has never liked Spencer, so I doubt this budding friendship with Dex and his connections with the mob will go over with Trina's family. Let's make it's not a boring character, wishing for the old Esme to come back. Well, JNBP, I think Esme is already back. She's starting to engage in the same stupid behavior as she did when she had her amnesia. She sure knows how to plot to get Trina apart from Spencer. That's why I know she has her memory. If you have amnesia, you have nothing. You can't remember that you were once in love with Spencer and trying to get him back. Thank you. Sandra Kathy writes, I agree. Why so serious on breaking up a successful, popular, young, beautiful couple? Hashtag Sprina. Love has struck fire with these two characters. Spencer and Trina, NAC and Tabby, for how they brought these characters to life. She also says, I'm going to say it again, Spencer and Wicked Esme don't fit. I agree Spencer should let Trina go. He said he will never hurt Trina again. Since they're putting Spencer and Esme together, give Trina a handsome black man, a professor or something like that. Thank you so much for your comments, Sandra. To make the Sprina storyline interesting, I think GH does need to insert a black male character around Trina's age into the mix. I bet Spencer would forget about Ace then. Thank you so much for your comments. Catherine Davis writes, when Trina's mother didn't want Spencer around Trina, he made it happen. What's stopping him now? It seems like he is soft. Thank you so much for your comment, Catherine. At the moment, Spencer is absorbing everything Esme is doing like a bounty picker-upper. He's just playing along to entrap her. Thanks. Bonnie Wynn writes, instead, we have bait and switch. Sprina, the saga of Esme. Sound familiar? Bonnie also says, the bigger question is, how are black and white treated as soap actresses, sidekicks, side chicks, props, accessories? Why do we support shows that don't properly tell our stories? Thank you so much for your comments, Bonnie. I guess it's hope. We are hoping that the soaps will project us in a proper light and give us the proper love stories as they do the other couples. Thank you. Faye Skidmore says, yes, they are. I can remember Tabiana saying in some interview that Trina and Spencer would face some turbulence, but to stay tuned into GH. Hashtag Team Sprina. She also says, I'm really fed up with a Spencer, Trina, and Esme storyline. Spencer doesn't seem insulted enough, angry enough, embarrassed enough, or manipulated enough by Esme after all that she has done to him and his friends. It doesn't matter if she has amnesia now because she did those things before her amnesia, which means she has it in her to be underhanded and cold and petty. That tape of Cameron and Jocelyn released into the world through the internet will always be there. Thank you so much for that, Faye. Ain't that the truth? The tape will always be there for generations to see. I think Spencer is not reacting because he doesn't want to offend Esme. He has a goal in sight, and that is to put Esme behind bars. Andrea Wellberg wrote, as I said, they were going to separate Trina and Spencer. The writers have a different agenda. It was to prop up the other characters in the show and then separate Trina and Spencer. That was their goal all along. The writers of GH by the end of summer or into September, Sabrina is done as a couple. I see this done to interracial couples across the soap operas. Thank you, Andrea, for your comments. Andrea, the writers at GH are not that stupid, I hope. They know that due to the popularity of Spencer and Trina, they have no other couple or no other storyline on that soap that can keep them afloat. So they may appear to be ending the Sabrina storyline, but I think it'll prop back up. I think that Spencer will marry Trina. I'm hoping. Thank you. Oh, Andrea, I see your other comment. Spencer has sympathy for Esme, who slept with his father and has a baby in their relationship, and she manipulated him. Come on, GH. Thank you, Andrea. Spencer does not have sympathy for Esme. You ever see somebody who's off and you say, I feel sorry for that person? He doesn't. He knows that she is crazy and that she is evil. Thank you. Lula Allen writes, incest is nothing new to the Cassadines. Remember Nicholas, Lucky, and Liz? Thank you, Lula. L.E. writes, it's a shame. I may stop watching, but I have simply been holding on for some small sign that Sabrina is in game and will survive because of that. Thank you so much, L.E. Keep in mind, we got temporary writers who are not invested in GH as we are. They are mucking the storyline up, no doubt. Thanks. Lucy Lennon writes, no to Dex and Trina. I don't feel Dex is out to find someone else anyway. Anyone for Team Nettie and Livia? They deserve to be together with Leo. Thank you so much for that, Lucy. Lucy, the story of the Eddie Main storyline. Nikki Phillips says, I have so much to say when it comes to GH and Sabrina, as I have been a fan from day one. But on that note, it's so easy to blame the writers and call it a black and white issue or whatever. But what if it's deeper than we can imagine? Just hear me out. What if something happened between the characters? What if something happened behind the scenes? Is it a possibility maybe they don't want to work together anymore? Because in my opinion, you don't go from sugar to expletive overnight. You don't go from the number one couple to non-existing. I'm sorry. I've watched this couple for 3 years, pretty much everyone to be together. This couple didn't care about what anyone said until now. So Portia tells Trina how to feel and who she can see, and Spencer is like, okay. No, that would never happen. And then Spencer had the nerve to feel sorry for Esme after all that she did, really. And he clearly chose Esme over Trina yesterday by going to the park that Chrissy suggested. I know people have a bad reaction to Dex and Trina, but it was very sweet that he took the time to listen to her. I feel Trina is very alone here. Spencer is so far up Esme's A, and Joss is not a good BFF. At this point, we have to keep an open mind. At least I am. Thank you for your comment, Nikki. Nikki, I have not heard anything about any goings on between Spencer and Trina or anything going on behind the scenes. Spencer is playing along to get along with Esme until he finds incriminating evidence on her to put her behind bars. I think Spencer said he felt sorry for Esme because she's so pathetic. Both her parents were lunatics, and she's showing signs of being one as well. I don't think he meant he had pity on her and will fall in love with her. Thank you. Hot Tan writes, I can see GH off the air in a few months if they make that move, or permanently on cable. In the meantime, until the sun sets on that show, as it stands, GH is third in ratings behind Young and the Restless and Bold and Beautiful. Sabrina has brought in viewership both nationally and globally, and Sabrina Nation's online presence is enormous. Thank you for that, Hot Tan. Hot Tan, I have seen The Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless. One thing I will say about those two shows is that everyone on the show is involved in the storyline, not there just to be supportive or act silly. Those shows make their characters useful. Everybody is involved in an entanglement in one way or another. Beautiful Butterfly writes, love the old Christina. This one is too nosy and annoying. Hope she comes back, Lexi. Thank you for that, Beautiful Butterfly. I don't think the old Christina, Lexi Ainsworth, will be returning to GH. She stated that they parted ways amicably and that she is into production. Tamika Brown writes, I wonder if the girl that is playing Christina is liking the storyline. Thank you for your comment, Tamika. The lady, she's 39 years old, that plays Christina, recently posted an article inviting the GH fans to give her a chance. She says she's new and that they should let her have a chance to grow into the role. She hails from Days of Our Lives, where she won an Emmy. Travois Marshall says, in case you've forgotten, Spencer is just as messy as Esme. He's just too afraid to embrace his like Esme does. That's why he fell in love with Trina, because she was the validation to him trying to be a better person, even though we all know he's full of it. Thank you for your comment, Travois. I see Spencer as admitting to all of his faults, and he's trying to change. Trina called him out on that aspect. He's nothing like Esme. Esme tells lies, she plots, she films people in the sack. She got pregnant by Spencer's daddy. Spencer did not grow up with a mother, and Nicholas was no father to him. So how you can make the comparison between Esme and Spencer is beyond me. Thank you for your comment. Sandy Moon says, Christina, please have several seats. Mind your own business. Why would she encourage Spencer and Esme? Christina, thank you first of all. Christina made that gesture to spite Jocelyn. Jocelyn had suggested to Spencer that he called Trina, and Jocelyn had just tore Christina a new one, and Christina is just trying to spite her. Thank you. Kimberly Wainwright writes, love this song and Sabrina. Thank you, Kimberly. She was referring to Can't Take My Eyes Off You video by Lauryn Hill. Andrea Wahlberg says, I believe that Sabrina were manipulated and they have no intention of putting them together, and they did not expect it to take off like this, and by the end of August or September, Sabrina will be done and over with. And if this was their intention all along, they should have just kept Rory and Trina together and keep it moving, because they wasted Sabrina fans' time and effort. And the writers of GH are going down this path, and nothing will turn them. I have been watching soaps for years, and this is what they do, especially to interracial couples. And look at GH right now. Joss and Dex happy. Valentine is happy with his woman. And Sonny and Nina and Dante and Sam are happy couples. And let us see Trina and Spencer constantly fighting. And Trina does not know her man and doesn't have a voice. And Spencer is obsessed with a baby that is not his and his first priority over his girlfriend. Thank you so much, Andrea. The writers need to keep the fans engaged. They're just stalling with the Sabrina storyline until they can think of something else. Denzel Pinkerton says, after what you just said, I'll definitely agree with you 100%. Well, Royal Family, that concludes our comments. I will be doing another comment video this week. So please send your thoughts, your comments, and your theories to the Daytime Drama Queen, and we will discuss. Until then, ta-ta.